Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Position make you rich. I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If that people knew that glorious path, if that people knew that glorious path, if that people knew that glorious path, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter, make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes. Yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit. We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best interest.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted, because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage, we are. This is Manifestations 2020.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
All right. This is a pop-up show, Manifestations 2020. We're doing a pop-up show. You'll see us doing more pop-up shows coming up. Basically, what a pop-up show. Huh?
No, I was agreeing with you.
Yes, basically what a pop-up show is really is just spontaneously we'll come up with a hot topic before the regular show comes every Sunday. So we'll do a show before a show, so we call it a pop-up show. And this week we wanted to talk about the Tyreek Hill incident. Anything else you wanted to talk about? That was it?
Oh, there's a couple of things, man. It's just got my head exploded. So we could cook on the Tyreek Hill incident, and then we gotta touch on, just for me, we gotta touch on this thing with the Super Bowl. It's just driving me up the wall right now.
All right, so we'll just chop up a couple of topics tonight. It's not going to be much like the regular show. It's just a pop-up. Anybody that want to jump in and join us live, you can always come on air. We'll give you the link to jump in on air with us. If anything, you want to jump in on the conversation and add anything to it. All right, so with that being said, I definitely want to go into the first video we have. So if you don't already know, Tyreek Hill, the Miami Dolphins star athlete, had got into an incident right before the game. When that was Sunday. 1 o'clock, right before the 1 o'clock game, he was caught they said speeding down Ives Dairy, heading towards the game, and he got pulled over by a Hispanic race soldier. I want to put it like that. And the Hispanic race soldier, instead of de-escalating the situation, he actually escalated the situation a little bit more. And we'll go into details about that afterwards, but we definitely want to show you the video and let you guys see what it is, and then you guys can comment and chime in with us. All right. So this part of the video, there's no audio. They have the audio off. I guess he has his body cam off, so the audio is not playing, but it will cut on shortly. And that's Tyreek Hill that just passed, which to me didn't look like he was speeding at all. Not at that rate. If somebody's speeding, they're gonna fly by you faster than that.
How's your speeding? How fast am I going? Go forward. Yeah, we got him here. 261. Why don't you have your seatbelt on? Don't knock on my window. Why don't you have your seatbelt on? Don't knock on my window like that, no. Like what? Don't knock on my window like that. Why you have it up? Don't knock on my window like that. Why you have it up? I have to knock to let you know I'm here. That way you can lower it and talk to you. Get my ticket, bro, so I can go. I'm finna be late, gang. Do what you gotta do. Keep it down. Hey! Keep your window down. Hey, keep your window down. Keep your window down. I'm gonna get you out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car. Get out of the car. Give me that. I'm gonna break that freaking window. Get out of the car. I'm gonna get out. Get out of the car right now. We're not playing this game. Get out. 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 Damn. What part of blood are you in this car? Hey, Drew. Hey, Drew. I'm getting arrested, dude. I'm getting arrested. I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting out, bro. God damn, twin. When we tell you to do something, you do it. You understand? I'm getting out, you understand? Not what you want, but what we tell you. You're a little fucking confused. I'm getting out, bro. Too late. Too late. All right, bro. Take me to jail, bro. Do what you gotta do, bro. We are. We will. Good, good, bro. It is good. Hey, hey. Don't worry about it. I hung up the phone. Stop crying. Bro.
The best feeling iron I've ever hit. Introducing the new Gen 7 iron, the greatest leap forward in irons technology, in performance, in PXG.
I ain't do nothing, twin. Hey, hold on, move to the side, Lou. Hey. I just had surgery on my knee. I just had surgery on my knee, bro. I just had surgery on my knee, bro. I just had surgery in your ears when we come here with the window down. Bro, chill, bro. Hey, don't do, bro. Hey, come on. I'll do.
Back off. Back off. Back off right now. Back off. Back off right now. Get back. Get back. I'm telling you, go back. I don't have to talk to you. Go back. Go back. Go back. Wait. Pass our card. Pass our card. You want to be in handcuffs too? All right, then back off. We're not playing this game here, man.
Well, I just want to know what happened.
It's not your business. It's not your business. Keep going back. Hey, get back in your car before you get a ticket. Get back in your car and leave. You gotta go before you get a ticket.
I'm not driving.
Who's the driver?
This is my car.
All right, move.
All right, I'll take that.
You gotta move right now. Let me have your license. You get a ticket too.
I'm coming.
Let me have your license. You get a ticket. Let me have your license.
I'm leaving.
I'm not playing. Let me have your license.
Leaving. Yo, what's
Your
going
license
on?
right now.
Sir, what's going on,
Your license
man?
right now. You're not gonna give me your license?
Hey,
You're not gonna give me your license?
I'm leaving.
Let me have your
I'm
license.
leaving,
Your
man.
license right now.
Sir, you want me
Hey,
to
your license right now.
I'm leaving.
Or I'm gonna lock you up. Your license right now.
He just told me to.
Your license right now. You're dealing with me now.
Sir.
Your license right now. We're not playing this game here, man.
What's the end goal, man? My license in my bag. Let me get
All
my
right,
bag.
go get your license.
Let me get my bag, man.
Close that door. Pause. Let me get you.
Why is he acting up like that?
Huh?
You know who that is?
No?
One of the Dolphin star players.
Oh, yeah?
I'm not going to tell you to leave. I'm going to give you one more time. If you don't leave, I'm going to take you to. Listen, if you don't listen to me,
Get in your car and leave.
listen,
Avoid this. Get in your car and leave.
I'm giving you an order. One more time.
Get in your car and
One
leave.
more time. I'm giving you an order to get out of here. Hey, turn me down right here. Put your hands on the back. I told you, leave. Nope, too late. You didn't want to listen. Nope, too late. I told you. Told you multiple times. I'll move the car. I got you.
Move the car, sir, please. Please move the car.
The car has to hang out for a minute now. He's on the right. Yeah, he was right. Hey, what's the reference?
Huh?
What's the reference?
Yeah, careless, because you were speeding too fast.
I wanted it. Mistakes already. Move the car. So how come nobody holding him but you holding me? You see that? Look, turn around, look. Hey, baby, you grabbing my shoulder too hard. Hey, yo, hey. I just told myself, this is all my fault. Sit on right next to you, right? I'm going to tell you like this, right? And look, your job is to serve and protect, right? You're doing a horrible job of protecting right now, bro. I told you I'm not going to run nowhere. For what? What am I going to do? That's only going to make matters worse. Right?
I don't know.
Well, you just G6 out. Hello. Who's 39? Who's 39? So to get out of the car, he didn't get out of the car. Donnie, ask him why you use the car.
Look, if I sit up, sir, my knees are bent.
No matter who you are, there are times it can be tough to be yourself when you have to.
That's his son. Whose?
Yeah, what?
Good? Yeah. I got here.
Got it, bro. Thank you. Got it, bro.
Hey, you sure? This should have been here.
Yeah, okay.
This should have been here. Hey. I'm not playing today. All because of y'all. But I appreciate the check y'all there, you know. I appreciate the check you did. I don't give a damn about none of that, bro. Hey, how y'all gonna catch a cheetah? Hey, stay right there. Who you been robbed? Who you been robbed? Thank you, guys. They're arrested. Hey, thank you. They found something wrong, bro. God. That's crazy, bro. I'm talking about, bro. That's real embarrassing of y'all, bro. But now the sound on my knee right there. Like, he'll hold like, but I don't feel you no reason to prove it. You gotta get my car, dude. He admitted everything's my fight. Huh? Did I give you a reason? Did I give you a reason to snatch you out? Did I give you a reason to snatch you out my car? Did I give you a reason to snatch you out my car? Did I give you a reason to snatch you out my car? Who you fight me? Hey, who you fight me? Hey, look, I didn't even say. You got 25 feet from us. Hey, fight stay close. Move. I stay close. Move. I'm driving ready. I tell you what. Hey, listen. I tell you what. You gave me 25. I give you 25. Hey, that's a tough guy right there. Hey, that's a tough guy right there. You don't tell me to relax, man. You don't tell me to relax, bro. You been squeezing the hell out my neck. You don't tell me to relax. Big muscular man. I'm a big muscular man. How about you show how muscular you are? Mr. Dunk.
Oh, 5'5"? I mean, go on mute or? No. All right, so as he was coming, you know, when he called it, he was holding ass. I get after him, pull over. What are you stopping me for? I'm like, for speeding. Okay. So when he pulls up, I get to his window, I knock on the window. Don't knock on my window like that. So I ask for a license.
The CP was raising your hand.
He gives me the license. Then he raises the window. I knock on the window again. Keep your window down. Okay. Keep your window down. I'm like, you know what? At this point, get out of the car. Okay. I'm gonna get you out of the car. So he's refusing to get out of the car. That's when Donnie take him out. Okay. But okay.
I'm just being a black man. That's it. I'm just being black in America, bro. Come on, man. I'm just black in America, bro. It's a nice car. That's it. Come on, man.
So it's up to you. If you want, case discussion.
You done fucked my whole day up for that one.
Nobody bleep the sound out. And then this black thing right here at the bottom is blacking out some of the picture too.
Yeah, they doing that on purpose.
Right.
Because that right there is the special officer. So I guess he's the what, the lieutenant or sergeant officer, the white guy with the cap.
Yeah.
That's going over there to talk to. I think that's one of the hierarchy management officials of operations in the stadium. So going over there to talk to the officer. But he already talked to the officer before. If you had noticed when he had hit the mute button, before he hit the mute button, he walked over to him. He said, "Hey man, I don't know. It's up to you what you want to do." So basically, he was trying to give him the white officer was giving the heads up, like, "Hey, I don't think this will work out in your favor because of who you pulled over."
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then that's why I said it was coded. It was very coded, and it was just very, very eye opening with the body cam. But their whole demeanor, this guy, this race soldier, this Hispanic race soldier, he woke up on the bed of animosity today because the way as an officer, you're supposed to de-escalate the situation.
Right.
You try to de-escalate it as much as you can. You don't want to get in a confrontation with somebody, and they are already escalated with Tyreek Hill. He's already escalated, and he's going to, basically saying what he's saying on his mind, and you as an officer can't really react to what he's saying, and you're now it's a pissy match. Tyreek's going at it with you, you going at it with Tyreek, and then that's where it escalated to the level it got to at that point. I have a very, very big disdain for a lot of Hispanic officers. Me personally, my antidote, or I should say anomaly situation, I never had a good interaction with the Hispanic police officers. I've noticed that the Hispanic police officers that I've always encountered had a huge disdain for black folks.
Yep.
And and like I say, people would be like, well, there's some good Hispanic. There probably are, but I'm telling you, my anecdotal experiences, my anomaly experiences, my experiences is my truth, because this is what I've encountered all the time. I don't know what the ratios is during your encounter, but mine is 100% Hispanic officers always seem to give me the most fucked up attitudes and issues whenever dealing with anything. It could be something so minute, but the fact that they're dealing with a black person, all their historical disdain for black people now comes into you. And you can hear that with this gentleman when this race soldier was talking to Tyreek. you can hear him say repeatedly, I'm not going to play with you today. I'm not going to do this with you today. So just by saying that lets me know he encounters a lot of black people who probably question him on his tactics of pulling over people. And because the black people are questioning him about his antics and his tactics, now when Tyreek says it, now it brought back all of this experience he had before Tyreek, and he's using those past experiences with those black individuals and placing it on Tyreek, and that's why he has such a short patience for Tyreek. You know, he has the dreads, he's black, you know, he got the pants, the wife beater, and he's driving a car that this Hispanic man might be jealous of and thinks that he probably was a dope dealer because the other officer had to come by and tell him, hey, you know who that is? That's a star player of the Dolphins. Oh, really? You know, so he off rip thought this was going to be a regular dope boy, black boy who is driving maybe a exotic rental or, you know, driving something he thought that it might be something he might have a bigger bust on. And that's why he was trying to trump all these charges up on Tyreek, you know, with the, oh, yeah, he didn't want to get out of the car and he's zoomed by me. And if you look at the original from the beginning of the video, you can see that the Tyreek's car did not go by him fast. You can't judge the speed of a car while you're sitting in the middle lane. Unless you have a radar, then that's different. But he didn't have a radar because if he had a radar, he would have told his superior that, hey, yeah, I clocked him at this. He didn't say that. He said he just sped by me. He didn't say, oh, he was doing 65 and I clocked him doing 65 and a 30. You know what I'm saying? If he would have said something like that, then that's a whole different story. So basically, you saw the car and it was moving at a speed that you thought was high speed. And because you saw that car, you just automatically was going to go after the car and just use it. Hey, you're driving fast, you know. And then that's what happened. So Tyreek had pulled down the window. We saw Tyreek was black. He started to say, oh, you know what? Let me go in on this a little bit more because it had that window wind down, and the guy we saw from the, I don't know what kind of hierarchy he is from the stadium, but if it was that original white guy that went to talk to the special police officer, if he was in that car driving, I guarantee you that Spanish guy would have just said, hey man, you know, slow down, whatever the case may be. But seeing a little black dude in there with dreads already got him on another level of hostility. You know what I'm saying?
I totally agree.
And curiosity. So, yeah, that was my point. But go ahead. I'll land my plane.
I totally agree. Look, to me, these officers handled this police stop or traffic stop in typical Nazi fashion. You understand what I'm saying? They handled it like some big dumb brutes that don't have any training, don't have any decorum. It was ridiculous to use that amount of force for a traffic stop, as it always should be. Yes, he was speeding. I'm sorry. The nigga was speeding. You know what I'm saying? He was hauling ass. And maybe it's because he's late. Maybe it's because he's driving a $150,000 car, whatever the case may be, and he's just being Tyreek Hill, whatever. But yeah, he was speeding. But I mean, when all that's necessary for a speeding ticket, you know, we get into the land of ridiculousness a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Also, from, you know, Tyreek Hill's side, and I want to make sure I put this out there to all the brothers, because there's such a thing as being dead wrong. And the police in this instance, to me, were dead wrong. But Tyreek Hill didn't help the situation. You know what I'm saying? He gets stopped by the cops. He was speeding. He was definitely speeding, from what I estimate, just looking at the video. Maybe he didn't clock him. I don't know. You know, but he looked like he was definitely speeding. Okay, cool. You know, people speed. It's something that happens. The officer comes up to your window. He knocks on the window. The first thing, don't be knocking on my window like that. Don't knock on my window like, and he keeps saying it over and over and over. And we've talked about this on the show before. You know, black men, when you get stopped by a cop, just cooperate. I'm not blaming Tyreek Hill for being abused by the police. Please don't get this mistaken in saying that I'm doing that. I'm not blaming him for this ridiculous abuse. However, all that shit wasn't called for either. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you know, he's unfortunately, Tyreek Hill is not being cool about things. He's not having a level head. He's automatically, when he's being stopped, giving the officer, you know, some back talk, giving him some lip, giving him some reason to become aggressive. And then the officer, you know, instead of de-escalating the situation, like you said, he takes it to a whole other level, you know, and it becomes a pissing contest. That shit ain't cool, because I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. We've seen this a million times on TV, you know, where something very simple gets crazy because, you know, somebody was just out of pocket with the way they was talking. You know, if a police officer pulls you over, he asks you to roll your window down. Okay, you roll the window down, but you don't bang on my window like that. Don't be banging on my window like that. Don't be banging on. Shut up. Shut up and do what's asked of you. Because, quite frankly, your ass might not make it home. This is bigger than, oh, you know, you being roughed up a little bit. I don't like that. I don't appreciate that. I don't respect that, as far as what the officer did. But, you know, this has happened in other situations where sometimes the person who got pulled over didn't make it home. Do you really want to be that person? You understand? Yeah. And really and truly, they probably did want an excuse to shoot Tyreek Hill. You understand what I'm saying? They probably did, because that's how they are. We know how racist they are. We know how disgusting they are. So, yeah, they were probably looking for an excuse. And unfortunately, our brother Tyreek Hill, you know, I won't say that he was giving them an excuse, but he wasn't de-escalating the situation. He wasn't being that person who's on code and acting like, hey, I'm in a hostile environment. It's like he's unaware of the white supremacist world that he lives in. You know, you don't give these people a reason to go in on you. You don't give them a reason, at least in their mind, a reason to abuse you. You don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that Tyreek Hill made it out without further harm done to him. You understand? I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that it was the middle of the day and there were a lot of people running around. I'm thankful it was the middle of the day and there were a lot of people around, because Tyreek Hill didn't have a cool head. You understand what I'm saying? I love the brother, very talented athlete, but he needs to understand the situation that he's in. I believe the military term for this is situational awareness. You need to understand the situation that you're in. When you're getting stopped by cops, when you're getting stopped by cops as a black man, you're being stopped by hostile enemy combatants. You have to look at it that way. And you don't need to be aggressive in any regard. You need to keep your cool, keep your hands where people can see them, and don't give them any reason to act like they did. You understand what I'm saying? You see how they behaved. You know, they're throwing them all on the ground. There was another angle I saw of a video where it looked like one of the officers kicked him, whatever the case may be. None of that is necessary. But by the same token, Tyreek Hill, when you are in this type of situation, you need to know how to chill out, because, you know, they're going to use the way that you were speaking to them against you as much as they can. They're going to try to use that to justify their despicable actions. And you have to understand that. You can't just give them, you know, material, so to speak. And then the whole time that he's sitting on the ground in cuffs, he's just talking shit, talking more shit. Dude, you ever heard the term anything that you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Why are you talking so much? I get some of the things that he was saying. I get, some of the parts of what he's saying when he was trying to reason with the officers because he got someplace to be and, he feels away, whatever the case may be. I can get that to an extent, but just some of the other extra stuff. Shut up. You know what I'm saying? Stop talking. Even his lawyers probably told him that. Look, when you get stopped, don't do all that talking. What are you doing? So I say, the cops' actions were despicable. I don't condone anything they did. But brothers really, really got to be smarter about how they're moving. You shouldn't be driving at that speed that he was driving. I know this from being stopped myself driving, real fast. At a certain speed, I'm not sure what speed he was at, but at a certain speed, it's not just a ticket that they give you for speeding. It's a ticket they give you for reckless endangerment, endangering the lives of those around you. And that can be like enforced. It can throw you in jail for that. You know what I'm saying? You need to be situationally aware. You are a superstar. You are extraordinarily talented. You are a black man driving a car that this bum-ass police officer will never be able to afford. You did. They're looking for a reason to target your ass and smack you up a little bit. And if all those people weren't around, I will bet my paycheck they would have smacked them around a little bit and held them for longer. You understand what I'm saying? So, real talk to our brothers out there, please, anybody, we've talked about this on this show before. If you're getting stopped by a cop, you need to carry yourself like you're in enemy combatant territory, hostile enemy combatant territory, and you need to give full compliance. You understand? No, talking slick and trying to, I hate when I see Negroes get stopped and they're like, I know my rights, and they yelling and all this old shit. That don't do nothing. It doesn't accomplish anything. And later on, they're just going to use it in the media to demonize you. You understand what I'm saying? I get that you feel, upset or whatever the case may be, but we can't be emotional. We have to be strategic at all times because it may end up costing you your life. Shout out to our brother Tyreek Hill. I hope he gets justice. I hope they get rid of that damn Nazi officer. And there were a couple of Nazi officers there, actually. Just the way they were talking to him so disrespectfully and, throwing him on the ground and all this type of stuff, yanking him out of his car. He's saying his knee is injured. He just got surgery. They don't care. They just roughing him up. You understand what I'm saying? That could have been a lot worse, and I'm thankful that it wasn't.
Yeah, definitely. He did have this to say. I could have been better. I could have let my window down. At the end of the day, I'm human. I gotta follow the rules. I gotta do what everyone else would do. Now, does that give them the right to literally beat the dog out of me? Absolutely not.
He's spot on. I like the accountability, by the way. I like the accountability that he showed as well. So shout out to him for not just acting like he didn't have no part in it. Yeah, but like I said, there's such a thing as being dead wrong. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that and I respect the statement. Go ahead.
No, I was saying that the fact that a lot of times young black men that have stardom, it's kind of like we see the goofy dudes now, the Drewskis. There's another dude that does like videos where he's telling girls, he's asking them, hey, how is my drip? Would you date a guy like me? And then has them turn around, and then he grabs they ass if he grabs their ass and stuff like that.
He's going to jail if he's not careful.
Yeah, we had talked about that on the show before. You got guys like Cam Newton, Nick Cannon, and the reason why I'm bringing these guys up is because the simple fact that these weren't men that were the stellar guys coming up, meaning the guys that had the swag when they didn't even have no money. You know what I'm saying? These weren't the guys that were running through the different various women and knowing how to really spit game and get any type of woman. These are the guys that had to have the money to start them in order to get the woman that they want. And the reason why I'm making this comparison to it is because when you are a person who is used to being a star, who is used to being notarized like that, one thing, you know, even me and you have talked about this, we're very well known down here in South Florida. So when we go out, people always bigging us up and always, yo, what up, what up? So it's kind of like we are celebrities without the title, right? And we know how to maneuver with different people.
Right.
Now, these individuals, they never had that. They were very sheltered. They never got the game. So when they got the money, the women came, but it wasn't in a way where they had control of the situation. The money is what controlled the situation. So without the money, they would lose everything else. With Tyreek Hill, he's this guy who just got into a large sum of money based on his talent. And that type of stuff, when you don't have that type of reality that's been naturally you the whole time,
right,
you end up taking it to your head and it goes straight to your head. And that's why I say initially, this he had it like he wind down his window the first time to the officer to show him, I'm fucking Tyreek Hill, nigga. You're supposed to be jumping up like, oh shit, Tyreek, my bad.
Right.
You get a pass and everything like that. And the guy didn't know who he was. And that kind of pissed Tyreek off a bit because when he pulled over and he gave him his license, he thought the guy was going to look at the license and be like, oh shit, Tyreek Hill. And then that didn't occur. So then when the guy was like, hey man, why not keep your window down? He felt like I'm getting treated normally and I don't like this shit. Don't knock on my fucking window. Because that right there irritated him to say, don't fucking knock on my window. So now Tyreek is irritated because he's not getting the notoriety. He's not getting the special treatment that he feels he deserved as being the number one player in the NFL. So because you're getting treated like a regular black boy, you want to show your macho-ness and pull your weight. And you want to pull your weight to the point where you feel like even if it escalates to the highest, I'm still going to get the fuck up out of this situation. So I'm going to toe to toe for you because I have special ranks and special privileges, special resources, and I can end up getting you fired in as well. And that's what happened. This guy got put on administrative leave. So, you know, just by Tyreek being who he was, you know, along with the officer's behavior. So the combination of all of that, you know, is very troublesome because we have these young boys who think the same way. They're not being, you know, cultivated into a mindset by strong mentors and strong black men that are telling them like, hey, you know, all that stardom shit, that shit ain't nothing. All that money stuff, it ain't nothing. You got to build your character. When the money comes on top of that character, now you're the most powerful person that you can exude in these streets. But if you don't have no character, no good quality, no good moral, no stance or structure on you, and the money come on you, just a fool with fucking money. And that's what he was acting like, a fool with fucking money. You know, and the thing that I really didn't like about it, you know, the apology. My thing is, don't say, I'm a black boy, I'm a black man in America, man. You know how it is. I'm a black man in America, and then you go out with a publicity narrative and paragraph like that, holding yourself accountable on a publicity level, because we don't know if it's your publicist that wrote that, or you generally wrote that, or a combination of both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? But you can't sit here and say it's a black man. I'm a black man in the area in America, and then you're doing that type of shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, come on, you're killing me with the noise, Bob.
Okay, I heard it too. Okay.
Yeah, so the black man in America, you stomping for the people, and then you backhanded on the back end, and what we didn't show you was he was out there shaking all the officers' hands when he noticed that he was able to be free from the incident. He started shaking their hands and doing all the other stuff. So it's like you want to pull the stance off until you get out the situation. And then when you get out of the situation, now you want to be friend on that same side. So you can't pick and choose where you're trying to fight for the injustice of the people that get caught up in the situation you get caught up in, that don't have the money or the resources to get bailed out of it. Now, instead of taking that powerful moment that you had where you could put the scrutiny on the police department and the attitudes of these race soldiers, especially the exposing the Hispanic disdain for black folks, instead of you doing that and magnifying it with your resources, your money, and everything like that, you now let it get swept under the rug. And now these guys are going to go out here and go back to doing the same thing. Because if I can do that to Tyreek, then I can do it. I can keep doing it to the other guys who are going to do either the same thing if I kick their ass. And then I say, you know what? I'll let you guys go. And I've seen that a lot of times too, where a lot of officers will be in the wrong. And a lot of black folks don't go to the police department and file the complaint. They just leave it alone because the officers say, okay, we'll let you get go this time, but make sure next time you don't do the same shit. They let you go because they fucked up, and you didn't hold them accountable because you were too scared to go down to the police department because you felt like, oh, I'm free, I ain't going to jail, so everything is good. And when you don't put those reports in on these officers, then those officers, they build up that same intensity, that same arrogant attitude, and that same destructive behavior, and they carry it out to the next person, and their attitude and behavior grows and grows and grows until it becomes just like this officer who's sitting there telling you, give me your shit now or I'll lock you up. It's like, damn, nigga, like, relax. You ain't out here trying to prove a point to nobody. Who are you kissing ass to? Your white master ain't even get here till later. So who are you proving to? Oh, the body cam. Oh, okay, that's what you proving to? The people in the body cam. So you think that you're about to get promoted for your behavior? Bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So that type of stuff that I didn't really like about the whole situation. I felt like Tyreek took it to that level because he felt disrespected, felt like a normal person. I looked into Tyreek's background with his girlfriend, and I want to say this is very important. When it comes to your girlfriend, you got to make sure that you have a solid woman behind you. This is one of the key points where I feel like, you know, a black woman is very key to a black man in a situation like this. When you have a powerful black woman behind you, trust me, by the time she would have got into a vicinity with you or a press conference or anything like that, man, that woman would be so impactful to the case that they would have had to do some damage control because your wife, your black queen, was putting them on the spot. And women are very articulate and they're very strategic about how they pinpoint and get justice for black men. That's one of the most powerful things and underrated things that a lot of people overlook on black women. And when I look at his wife is Italian. She's mixed, but she's really mostly, her family is Italian. If you look at her brother, they look Italian more than the black side. You really can't see a black side. It's kind of like the Kim Kardashian, right? They say, oh, Kim Kardashian is black, but all you see is a white woman. And it's the same thing with his wife, his Italian wife. And Italians, if you know the history of Italians, bruh, you as a black man would never get fucked up with an Italian, bruh. The racism that comes from Italians towards black folks, you might as well have just married somebody, the female version of this officer, because the disdain that comes from them is it's ridiculous, right? So I haven't heard anything from his girlfriend or anything like that. I don't, his wife, I guess, whatever she is. I don't know if it's a girlfriend or wife, but I didn't hear anything from her. She didn't come out and show any kind of support for her man. It was just him in the limelight, and it just goes to show you that a woman like that is only there for the ride. She's only there for the money. She don't give a fuck about you. She's just, she wants to be the main woman right now, gathering all the resources as much as she can. And when your career goes downhill or whatever like that, she's out of there. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of mindset that I'm getting from his wife, because there's no way you tell me that you're married or involved with a woman like this and have a child with a woman like this, and she's not in the media having your back. When we look at Claire Huxtable on the show, boy, Claire Huxtable had Heathcliff's back. Like, she had his back to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, she had Cliff's back to the fullest. There was times where she moved him out the way and got some people straight. You know what I'm saying? That's the dynamic of having a beautiful, black, intelligent, powerful queen on your side. And if you don't have that type of woman, man, you're going to be living life in a very unbalanced way and always going to be questioning yourself, because your mate should be that person, that one person has your goddamn back. Even if you are in the wrong, right? Even if you're in the wrong, she'll correct your ass in private, but make sure she hold who she needs to be held accountable on the other side in public. And that's key to that whole situation. And I'll land my plane on that. Go ahead, Bobby. You can come in. Oh, damn, my bad. Hold on. Let me add you back. Sorry. All right, go ahead.
Golly. Gave me the Sandman Showtime of the Apollo treatment. What's going on, fam? Good evening.
Yo.
Apologies for being late and not in my usual surroundings. I've actually got a competition coming up this weekend, so I've been in training mode all week. So I cut the session short, wanted to chop it up with the fam and everything and get in on this topic. So just to kind of go back a little bit over what's been discussed already, I know we reviewed the video and everything. The main thing that I wanted to chip in, and I'm sure you guys probably touched on a little bit from multiple angles. The issue that I have with the issue that I have primarily with how the situation was handled, or rather I should say the response to the way the situation was handled, is the same issue that I always have when one of these situations goes down. What happens too often, and I think it's because we become desensitized, right? Because unfortunately, this is driving while black. This is a regular routine occurrence in America. It's blink and you miss it. If they show footage from 3 of them today, you can rest assured there's probably maybe 80 that didn't get recorded and shown to you today. But what irritates me more so with us, because we expect this with non-black people, we expect this from other law enforcement officers, but unfortunately, even with so many of us, after all the things we've seen, the George Floyds, the Ahmaud Arbery, just close your eyes and just throw a dart at the dartboard to pick a name. What seems to keep on getting overlooked is the fact that this is an interaction with a civilian and a law enforcement officer. A regular Joe Blow, run-of-the-mill.
Oh boy. Bobby, your connection is janky, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not going to work. It's not going to.
We'll remove you and come back.
Yeah,
Right.
we'll do that. But look, man. At the end of the day, I'll just say this, man.
Yeah.
You know, we just gotta be smarter about how we move, and we gotta be on code. This is some of the most off code, goofy ass behavior I've seen, you know, and I cannot stress enough, black men, when you are getting stopped by a cop, you are in danger. And you need to act like it. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can say. You need to act like it. Put down the attitude. Don't raise your voice. Don't get belligerent. They want you to do that. In fact, a lot of times they'll try to get you to do that. Okay, you back, Bob? Your connection good? Go ahead, finish your point. Bobby? I guess he's not ready yet. But yeah, they'll try to bait you into doing that. You dig? You good, Bobby? You ready? He's still not ready. Okay. Yeah, you still can you hear us? Can you hear us? Okay, we'll let him chime in when he's ready.
Yeah.
But you know, they'll try to bait you into getting out of character, into giving them an attitude, into acting like, you know, into getting into a pissing contest with them, which is essentially what this was. It was a pissing match. You understand? And dude, this guy is authorized by the state to have authority over you. You understand what I'm saying? You're not going to likely win that pissing match. They're going to make all types of excuses for him because he's just doing his job. Brothers, let's not do this, man. It's not worth it. You know, that's hood rat shit. Hood rats do that. You know, when they get stopped by the cops or whatever, they start yelling and whatever. No, man. We supposed to be cool. Men are supposed to be the what? The ones who are not emotional. We're not ruled by our emotions. I know you're mad. I know you're upset. You got to get to your game or whatever, but you have to have the presence of mind to not be ruled by your emotions and know, hey, man, I got to keep my cool. I'm just saying. Bobby, are you ready?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Go.
Okay, there we go.
Finish your point.
But yeah, my issue is the fact that as a person who's a law enforcement officer, whether you're at the local level or even federal, you are a person who not only has received training, but you have far more power than the average citizen or even the typical elected official. You literally have the power to deprive people of their freedoms, their constitutional freedoms, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You can literally, you are authorized by the law to take someone's life. If you feel threatened, you can be on the job with your job issued firearm. You can fire the firearm, take a person's life, and you can go on about your business after the investigation. You're legally sanctioned to do that. You can go ahead and slap cuffs on someone and arrest them. You can take them to jail. You can hold them involuntarily against their will. Doesn't matter if they like it or not. You can even have someone detained in their vehicle. You can have them in limbo. Officer, am I being detained? Am I under arrest? Well, just sit tight. We're waiting until so-and-so gets here. They can do that to you. That's a lot of power to have. And there's training even that goes along with that as well. I get bothered and upset when people put the onus and expectation on regular civilians who have no training, who have no expectations placed on them because they're just a regular citizen, when regular citizens are expected to have the same level of composure, professionalism, and control and discipline as a so-called police officer or law enforcement officer. As a civilian, I have every right, if I'm pulled over or stopped, without even taking into consideration the history of Black people and law enforcement officers in the country, I have every right to be panicked, nervous, scared out of my wits, tripping over my words, shaky, unable to compose myself I have every right to be that. You as a person who are paid by my taxes to provide me a service, the people a service, you don't have that luxury. People could talk all day long about how police is a dangerous job, it's a difficult job. I hear that, but at the end of the day, cry me a river. Nobody put a firearm to your head and told you you need to go and take this job. You could have been a school teacher, you could have been a custodian, you could have been an engineer, you could have been a professor, you could have been anything you wanted to be. For whatever reason, you chose to sign up and do that job. And God bless you for doing so. But that comes with certain responsibilities and capabilities. And if that's too much, if you're not qualified for that, if that's outside of your depth, it is what it is. But if you mess up, that's on you. So if Tyreek Hill's having a bad day, he's argumentative or whatever, should he handle himself in that way? He shouldn't. He should play it cool. He should be calm, relaxed. But as a regular citizen with no training, he has the right to have a bad day. You're on the clock. You don't have the right, because when you have a bad day, people can lose their life. When you have a bad day, someone's freedom can.
Bobby. You're going to have to park by a Wi-Fi tower, buddy.
Right,
I'm on Wi-Fi. I'm on Wi-Fi is the crazy part.
Go ahead.
You was cooking, dog. You got paused. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You cooking and you paused.
Go ahead. Oh man.
He's well, Bobby. Yeah.
We gotta keep it moving. We're not gonna have time to get into the other stuff because this went.
Yeah, we're not gonna have time to get into other stuff. But what I do want to say is, because I know we're gonna wrap up and get up out of here. We didn't want to take too long. What I do want to say is that be very strategic. Make sure that you are out here to make it to the courtroom. That's the goal, to make it to the courtroom. Once you're in the courtroom and you utilize the courtroom in your best way of utilizing it in your corner, you can now flip it and get other people in trouble. You end up winning in the courtroom, even though you might take that L in the streets. All right? Because you're going to get locked up or whatever the case may be. But you go back in the courtroom, now you're on a level playing field, and you can win that. Shout out to 50 Cent for making that film. I think it's Isaac Wright, right? Was it Isaac Wright, the gentleman that ended up becoming a lawyer in jail, went and appealed his case, and then went into court. He went into court. This is how dope this dude is. So he ended up, I guess he was in a drug situation. I guess he was a dope guy. And he ended up going to jail. And while he was in jail, he was studying as a lawyer.
Yeah.
He ended up getting all his information and the knowledge through his time being in there. He ended up creating such a great paper for his appeal trial that they end up granting him his appeal. Why they do that? He got back in the courtroom, and not only did he win his case, but he put the officer who locked him up in jail, he put the prosecutor who did some foul ass shit that he shouldn't have done, put his ass in jail, and he put the judge in jail.
Wow.
The prosecutor, the police officer, and the judge got them all in jail. So he reversed it. Not only did he get out, but he put the people who did some flaw ass shit to him in jail by studying the law and using the court as the level playground. And because he was more knowledgeable than the officials, because what you got to understand, one thing that everybody has to understand, and this is why I love self-taught people. one of the advantages of self-taught versus institutional indoctrinated is that self-taught people aren't bound by contracts and gag orders. See, a lot of times you got to realize a lot of these lawyers out here, you say to yourself, why aren't they getting us off? Why aren't they using the right terminology? Because they have to sign a law that gags them, that they can only use certain terminology inside the courtroom. That's the key. So you're saying to yourself, how can somebody who never went through the whole indoctrinated process to be a lawyer ends up going into court and doing something that you don't even, your top paid lawyers, your highest achieving lawyers don't even do?
Right.
It don't make sense. Even shout out to my boy Stephen Jones. He even recorded a video from in jail, in the courtroom, I should say, where he had the judge leaving the bench. If you use certain words, the judge, if he stays on that bench, that judge could go to jail. If that judge wants to avoid jail, that judge has to dismiss the case and get off the bench. And I've watched Stephen do this, and he's a self-taught individual. No college degree, no nothing. Went in court, used the right terminology, and he helped his father, who been locked up in jail for a while. Now his father is out of jail right now. Just seen him riding with his father the other day through Hollywood. Self-taught, I'm telling you, the powers behind it is crazy. Another story, just to top it off, and I'll land my plane with this. Remember the debate team, the jailhouse debate team that crushed the Harvard debate team, who's been out here debating and murdering other college students left and right. End up challenging the jailhouse debate team, and the jailhouse debate team crushed the hell out of these Ivy League boys.
Ain't that something?
They're self-taught. All right.
Yeah.
So
something to think about.
Something to think about. Make it to the courtroom. That is your best bet. You're behind enemy lines when you're outside. Anything that you could go left. I did like the fact that Tyreek did say, I'm not going to run anywhere. And because the officer said, hey, yeah, if I do that, you might run. He says, I'm not going to run anywhere. That's going to make it worse. Keep that in mind, young fellas.
Right.
Running makes it worse. Hold tight. Grab resources around you. I want every young adult to make sure that you take this time while you're free to go out there and write down and make contact with as much lawyers as you can. Have somebody in your back pocket. I remember one time, and this is a smart little thing that I did that got me out of some tickets, right? There's police officers, black police officers that look like us that has high rank. Get familiar with them. I remember I got pulled over and I said, my uncle is such and such name. And they was like, yo, that's your uncle? Don't worry about it, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead about your way.
Yeah.
Sometimes, man, being smart will get you out of situations that could have took you all the way left. And I'll land my plane on that.
All facts. Nah, that's it, man. You said a mouthful, man. And, I just hope that we reach some people with this broadcast, man, because this is important. These police ain't our friends like that. You know what I'm saying? They stop you, it can go left. Always remember that. Always stay focused and just cooperate. Don't give them no attitude. Get home. Like you said, you want to make it to court, you want to make it to court. You want to make it home. You don't want no shit to pop off, man. And
correct.
I think that somewhere in the middle of that, Tyreek realized, damn, this was all avoidable. That's the thing that bothers me the most and makes my head explode. This shit was avoidable. And as men, as black men maneuvering in a white supremacist society, we need to avoid bullshit that's avoidable. Avoid problems that are avoidable. And I'll land my plane. Manifestations 2020. We live.
Hey, before we go, Bobby, you able to speak? You able to? Because you said something in the chat, the private chat, that you could basically just take us out with.
No, I just wanted to say to tack on to what you were talking about. Another thing that makes self-taught people, or amateurs, in other words, very capable, is that when you're self-taught, you're able to better think outside the box. Because when you come up in this in school period, when you go to school for engineering, science, law, whatever, you are taught based on rules and certain expectations and guidelines. You're taught by people who've been there, done that, or have experience, but you're taught a specific pathway to go. Right? They have you on a path. They even call it curriculum, the curriculum or your pathway, what have you. If you didn't go through those ranks, then you're at a disadvantage in some ways because you don't necessarily know all the ropes and everything else that people have gone through. But at the same time, you're not shackled by that. So because I'm not thinking A, B, C, I might be thinking, well, what happens if you do A, D, F, G? And that could be the game changer. Sometimes people get so caught up in it has to be this. It has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's no room for switching it up. Because you're not bound by that, you're free to think of, well, what happens if we do it this way? And that can be the game changer. So everyone's expecting you to go left, and you can go with the fake and go to the right. And so that's where that power comes in. But like you said, ultimately, the battle isn't going to be won in the street. In the street, you are at a disadvantage. You are, as our elder Neely Fuller Jr. said, you are a prisoner of war. You're behind enemy lines. You're on their territory. They are supreme in the streets. You're not going to win there. Your job is to shut up. Just yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, with every intention on doing what it takes to just get the ticket or whatever it is, and you're going to slug it out in court. Court's where you bring the big guns out. Now that's when we get to throw hands. We get to do whatever. We're going to do it in the court. And we're going to do it in that perspective where Mr. Police can't go ahead and you're resisting arrest or put your hands where I can see it. None of that foolishness going on in the courtroom. That's where you're going to handle that. But that's Warfare 101. You don't try to fight the enemy and their territory. That's crazy. You want to fight at best where you have the advantage, worst case scenario, where it's neutral ground. But you do not want to lock horns with somebody where they're strong. That makes no sense. So I wish Tyreek would have, I think this is definitely his PR and publicist stepping in for him, which I tip my hat to, but that also bothered me as well too. I don't want to call it the race card, but if you're going to go ahead and use your situation and call out, this is being a black man in America, this is what we have to deal with, whatever it is that you on, get out your emotions, but you need to stand on your square. Because when you start talking this way and then you go a complete about face, you actually hurt the cause.
Correct.
If you go bang the drum, bang the goddamn drum. Don't play with it and undercut it. And what that also does, that also damages your credibility because you look like a self-serving celebrity, whatever, that's just using blackness when it benefits you. But when other people are going through it, you sit back on the sidelines and don't say anything. But if you decide, you know what, I'm going to take my situation and I'm going to make this a movement like Kaepernick did, not only do you strengthen the movement, you strengthen the cry, but you're also going to get a lot of respect. You're going to get more support behind you. People will discuss the case like we're doing, but nobody's really going to have Tyreek's back like that in the streets because he started out, okay, I'm going to put this on Front Street. And then when the heat got on him, okay, yes, sir, my bad. I won't do it again. You look weak. Whatever stance you gonna pick, that's your business, but stay consistent with it. And that's all I got.
Well said. All right. We got the pop-up. This is the pop-up topics. We're gonna do this every so often before our regular scheduled show on Sundays. Hope you guys enjoy it. Remember, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and we'll see y'all Sunday. Peace.
Yay!
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there. You gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross, and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Position make you rich. I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter, make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes. Yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit. We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best interest.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted, because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage. We are. This is Manifestations 20.